Hey, Unleashed Alchemy, back with another episode. So, I know 2 videos in one day, but this could not wait. So, what has sparked this second video today is that I ran into a story, or I should say, a story ran into me because I was not looking for this. But this story came into my sphere, okay, about a very popular, I guess you could call him a spiritualist. He's got a podcast. Uh, he's someone that people have looked at as an expert in spiritual things, specifically meditation. And, from the outside looking in, it has served him well in all ways, including financially. Well, now there are these reports that he's being accused of lying about his story, lying about his path to spirituality, lying about his path, to bring him to where he's at today in his life. All right. So, why am I bringing this up? And this video is not about whether or not people believe that he's lying or not. That's not the point of this video. What I noticed is that people are really losing their shit over these allegations. They are hurt. They are just, there was one comment that I saw that, a person said, I knew he was a fake and I was praying for his downfall. And just different comments along those lines. And the main thing that I saw in some of the comments that I noticed was this word, fake. He's a fake spiritualist, fake this, fake whatever. And again, the purpose of this video is not about whether he was lying or not, or whether he is a fake. The reason why I go so heavy on the importance of getting into your own spiritual bag, getting into your own, and I like this phrase. This is a phrase that I hear another high priestess, very powerful spiritualist, priestess Aset Ra Amen, who always says, getting into your spiritual science, knowing who you are. And I'm not talking about just this shell. I'm talking about going deep into the magic that is hidden in your DNA, the magic that that has gone untouched, that so-called junk DNA that we have been programmed to ignore, when there are codes and magic that exists in that so-called junk DNA that we have not even tapped into yet, but we are brought here to this moment to tap into it because it's time for us to use it. It is important to get into your spiritual bag and knowing who you are, because you are the expert in your spirituality. You are the expert in your life. You are your own guru. You are your own guide. When we talk about venerating our ancestors and invoking different energies from elevated guides and elevated gods and goddesses, we are also sitting among the gods and the goddesses, because that's what we are. It is in our blood. It is in our DNA. So we're not about, well, at least I'm not. I wouldn't tell you to invoke an energy because it's separate from you. I would tell you to invoke an energy because that is you. Okay? So this is why I also talk about how important it is that we don't put people that talk about spirituality and talk about meditation, that we don't it's one thing to admire someone, it's one thing to even be inspired by someone, but it's another thing to put them on a pedestal. And from the reason why I'm bringing that up is because that is what I saw in those comments. These people, they're so hurt because they have put this individual on a pedestal. They have looked to this person so heavily as an expert in their own life, as an expert into their own spirituality, that now, they cannot believe that this person that they put on this pedestal has lied. Allegedly. Again, that's not what this video is about. This is why, even when it comes to, and I've said this before, when it comes to, having a mentor of any kind, and I focus on spirituality, so I'm always going to say spiritual mentor of any kind. It could be spiritual coach, a therapist. At the end of the day, you are your expert. At the end of the day, you have intuition, you have discernment, you can go to your own soul, you can tap into your elevated guides to guide you. If it is a mentor that you do seek, you can go to your own guides. You can go to your spirit, go to source, go to the infinite intelligence, and command that the right person at the right time will come to you if necessary. And that you will be able to discern if fakes will try to come into your path, which you don't even have to worry about that, because you can also command that the person who is meant to be your mentor, the person who is meant to be your coach, that nothing else can cloud that path, that will be a straight path between you and that other person, period. You can command that with your Heka, with the power of your voice. Side note. All right. So I say that to say this. When you are listening to people, you have to be intentional about why you are seeking their wisdom, or you're even listening to them. You have to be intentional about why you have stopped to give your energy to another person. Because that is really, when you get down to it, that is what is happening. So you have to be intuitive. You have to be intuitive. Also, when you don't put a person up on a pedestal, if you, for whatever reason, found out that later on, perhaps they did something stupid, made a mistake, lied, inflated their story, did something immoral, unethical, you won't lose your shit because you didn't have them on a pedestal. Now, would that go on to say that you wouldn't be disappointed? No, you may feel some disappointment, but you're not about to swim in it, because yes, I admire that person for their spiritual walk and their spiritual journey and their spiritual path. You may even have had a reading with them. But my soul is still intact. I still have a spiritual journey that I am on, that I am enjoying. that keeps growing and expanding every moment of my life. I'm still here. I still have a calling. I still have purposes to fulfill. So let me move on. But when you stop when I go back to these comments, because I'm going to say this, even if that individual, even if that person did lie, those people that are just having such a hard time with these allegations, they don't even realize that all of that emotion, they are giving that person energy to continue foolery. So that is why you have to go back. I go back to, you have to be intentional about why you are seeking out a reading. I don't care what type of reading it is, why you're seeking out mentorship, why you are seeking out a coach, why you are seeking out anything outside of you. You have to be intentional. You can't be passive with it. All right? So, I had to come on here. I couldn't save this for another day. So, I needed to talk about that. Remember, you are your spiritual expert. And you can always rest that your guides, that your elevated guides, that your soul, that your spirit will lead you to a person or a group of people that can support you in love, in wisdom, in your walk, in your life. Okay? Also, since I'm here, if you did not catch the day one of our 8 days of our self-gratitude, I called it an odyssey. I also used another term. What was the term that I used? It doesn't matter. But if you didn't catch today was the first day. So go back, watch that video. When you stay with us for the 8 days on March 22nd, which will be the 8th day and the last day of the self-gratitude our self-gratitude practice, I'm going to drop a 22% off code that you can use for the first month in the Unleashed Alchemy Mystery School. Now, in this 8 days of self-gratitude, there is a workshop in the Mystery School that goes into much more detail, because showing yourself gratitude is so nuanced, it's so layered, that it is a complete workshop in the school. So this 8 days of self-gratitude is giving you a taste of that, but you can still glean so many benefits from this 8 days just on the Unleashed Alchemy YouTube channel. So I encourage you to join us for the 8 days. All right. Second day will be tomorrow, but I wanted to come on here and leave you this message. You are your own spiritual expert. You are the magician. You are the high priestess. You are the high priest. You are the goddesses and gods. Are ye not gods? All right. So take that. And until next time, cheers.